Welcome back to Leeds Lately for the live stream of Brentford versus Leeds United at the Brentford Community Stadium in London. We've had a few changes in the lineup, so we're going to go through them just before we kick off. So, same Melier and net. Drama comes in because Christensen has picked up a slight knock apparently. So he should be back for the Forest game according to Marsh, but he's not in for this game. So it's Drama, Strauch, Llorente and Cox. So obviously Strauch is playing left back again. Rocker and Adams in holding midfield. Sinistera, Aronson and Harrison in the attacking midfield roles. And then Gelhardt is playing up top today. So Bamford is on the bench, and I think Ayling is on the bench as well. So Ayling's back in the matchday squad. So is Cooper, Forshaw, Click, Greenwood, Somerville, and Hjelde. So a little bit of a change, but not too much. Let's see what Cody Drama can do and see if he can have a little bit of a better game than he did last time when he played against Arsenal, because he wasn't very good in that game. But it is against different opposition today, and maybe not as strong opposition. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me at the end of the game. But I'm really looking forward to this game, and I'm hoping that Leeds can get 3 points away at Brentford, which would be a real step forward. I mean, I mentioned the other day that this would be a step forward, but it's difficult because last season we did win away at Brentford, but it was because there was so much on the line in that game. There was so much on the line in that final day of the season, so it was different. You kind of have to take that one completely out of context and leave that one to one side and treat this as though it's our last results against Brentford. So over the last couple of games against Brentford, we've won one, drawn one, and before that I don't think we drew one away at Brentford in the promotion season. So we haven't actually lost to Brentford in a few years now. Now I hope that's not I hope that's not going to come back to bite us as well, but I do feel like it's possible for us to beat them today. So I'm really hoping for a good performance, and I'm hoping that Joffrey can show a little bit more of himself, because against Everton he had a few good chances, but he didn't manage to get... He had a few good chances, but he didn't quite manage to get his shots in the right place, really. He was kind of a bit profligate in front of goals, and you kind of think of that sort of player, he should be finishing those. So let's hope he does a little bit better today. Shout out to everybody in the chat, chatting Leeds, Charlie, hiya mate. I hope Max nervous for this. Yeah, I'm nervous as well, mate. I think we could win this, but it could easily go the other way. Brentford are a decent side, and as much as we all hate to admit it, Thomas Frank is a good manager. But we're just hoping that Leeds have enough today. Hopefully Bamford comes on at some point. There's no Nonto today because he's gone back to Switzerland to sort out his belongings and all his bags and everything to move, because it was so late on deadline day that he wasn't actually able to pack anything. He just had to fly straight into Leeds. So so he's gone back this weekend. Hopefully he might be available for a little cameo against Forest next Tuesday night, next Monday night. So it's just about to kick off at the Brentford Community Stadium, and Leeds are in the black and orange kit with orange socks, and Brentford are obviously in their red and white home kit. It's safe. What's up, Max? How's it going? Hiya, mate. Yeah, good, thanks. Hoping for a big performance today, especially from Joffrey. I'm looking for a little bit more from him. The new Leeds kit. Do you mean the one that I'm wearing, or the new third kit? This one, it literally just arrived today. I've just been away in Chester, and I've just got back tonight. And I really like this one. I think it's really good. One of the best home kits we've had in a long time. I don't like the third kit that we're wearing today. I just don't. I like the centralised badge. I like the idea, but I just don't quite like the actual execution of it with the black. Llorente last week was awful. Yeah, he wasn't fantastic, was he? I think we need to cut him a little bit of slack because he was playing on the left-hand side of that defensive partnership, and he's not usually... Well, he's not left-footed, is he? So he doesn't usually play on that side of the partnership, and so it is going to be a little bit awkward for him. For Anthony Gordon's goal for Everton, that was awful. He basically did 2 step-overs of the ball and let it go straight through to Gordon. So he needs to sort stuff out like that. He's already just kicked the ball straight at Mbermo. I think that's... Oh no, Ivan Toney. He's just kicked the ball straight at Ivan Toney there, and it's gone straight into touch. So that's not a great start for him. It's tricky because you probably trust Strauch as a left back more than you do Yelder. So if you put Strauch at left back, you can't exactly play Llorente at left back or anything like that. So, I mean, we could have solved this by signing Kai Wagner for about £5 million, which really isn't a lot of money for a Premier League club. It looks like we may go in for Kai Wagner in January alongside maybe having another look at Cody Gakpo. So we kind of just need to wait on that one. But I'm hoping that we do go in for a left back in January, because I feel like this next few months of the season will prove that we should have had a left back. Junior Firpo obviously has had his issues with not being fantastic when he does play, but that aside, there's no guarantee that he's going to stay fit either. He's just very injury prone, so you kind of need somebody who's going to be a bit more consistent than that, even if he's perhaps not a star signing. We'd have just liked to have another body in there. Brentford just whipped the ball in the box and Pascal Strauch is able to head it away. Brendan Aronson trying to get the ball away here. He's done well, but he's being backed into his own corner now, and Brentford have won the ball off him with Janel, and the ball's been whipped in and Meslier is able to punch the ball away, as I think Llorente's just wiped him out on his 6-yard box. So a little bit of a scare there, but not too bad. Yeah, the Wagner one, yeah. I get that, but I think sometimes, like, a Premier League club could either look elsewhere, because there is going to be other options, or they could just push a bit harder, because, like, for £5 million, if you have to raise that to £7 or £10 million, it's not the end of the world, considering the need for that position. By January, it could mean that even though we've saved a bit of money on him, we could be a few higher places in the table. Ball was just given away near the edge of our box. I'm not sure who it was, but then the Brentford player was able to get it and try and curl it in, because Meslier was off his line, and it's just curled past the far post. So bit of a scare there, a bit of a let off. I think it was Robin Koch there Robin Koch. Yeah, he has actually been really good, Robin Koch, over the past couple of weeks. And I said this last season, he just needs a consistent run of form in the team without, you take last season aside, because we were just conceding so many goals anyway because of the system that we were playing. But like in the first season, we signed him to be our starting centre-back, and he wasn't able to get that consistent run of game time because of the injuries. But I think he was always going to be one of our most promising ones. Strauch got picked for the national team as well, so he can. I think the Square Ball tweeted that he can have a word with Cody Gakpo and get in his ear about getting him to Leeds. But no, I'm happy for Pascal Strauch. I think he's deserved it. I think he's really come into his own and playing out of position this season as well. We can't forget that. We can't forget that he was playing out of position, but I think he's been really good there. Michael, hiya mate, welcome. Just about 4.5 minutes in here, 0-0. Hoping that Joffy gets a little bit better today and bags one. And hopefully, because if anything, it will just do really well for his confidence if he is going to get more game time this season. If he gets a goal early in the season, it should do wonders for his confidence. Jesse Marsh on the touchline there. Anyone wondering why Nonto isn't in the squad? He's been sent home to pack all his bags and stuff, so we should see him maybe in the Forest game, which you'll probably get a match reaction from rather than a live stream, because I couldn't get to the game either because I'm in a hotel before I go on holiday, so I'll just be recording a little reaction to that game, but hopefully we can catch Forest before all these new signings have managed to get into the game properly. Matt Rocker in the box there, and it's gone for a goal kick. Matt Rocker was slipped into the box there with a nice little pass and tried to cross it, but it hit Jan Elt's foot, came back, hit Rocker and went out, so it's actually going to be a goal kick there. Yeah, it was Pascal Struijk again playing a lovely ball into the box for Mark Rocker there. He was brilliant, by the way. Against Everton, he was really, really good. Him and Tyler Adams are looking like really, really good signings. I'm really happy about that those two together. I mean, I talked about this on the midweek fix when we were linked with both of them. Like, the fact that Rocker is a really good passer of the ball and Tyler Adams is so good at breaking up the play is such a good combination in there, especially with two, your double six roles, as Marsh likes to call them, your double pivot. It's really, really good to have two players like that in there. Ball's just played into Brendan Aronson now. Brendan Aronson trying to charge into the Brentford half, looking for options. Sinisterra's just outside him. Sinisterra also, who was really, really good against Everton, I thought our best player, and scored that really good goal at not 100% fitness. So Sinisterra is going to be amazing, I hope. Ball's just into Joffy from Tyler Adams, but Joffy's not able to hold onto the ball. Oh, it's not Joffy, actually. I think it was Jack Harrison. Strout picks up the ball just inside the Brentford half. He's going to try and play it down the line here to Jack Harrison. Hoping Jack Harrison has another good game today because he's been really good this season. I think he's just getting better and better every season. Harrison's trying to put the ball into the box, but Leeds have won a throw-in right near the Brentford box. I always forget something, don't I? But luckily, with this timer, I can actually wind it on and line it up right. Whereas my old one, I just had to sort of... That was it then. There you go, we're about 3 seconds out on the timer. Ball into the box there, I think from Drama, and nobody was able to get on the end of it. Commentators comparing his pass to Trent Alexander-Arnold there. I mean, there was a really good pass from left back from Struijk, and then Drama was able to absolutely drill one on the volley into the box there. It was really good. Brentford just about halfway inside the Leeds half, but Leeds are surrounding them here with bodies, which is what Marsh wants them to do. He wants them to get in there. He wants them to get in tight, win that ball and then counter-attack. But Brentford have done what we don't want them to do, and they've managed to spread the play. Brentford, Keane Lewis Potter's just tried to play a ball down the line, but it's gone straight into touch, and Brentford aren't able to get on the end of it. So it's a goal kick to Leeds. About 8.5 minutes in here, and it's been fairly even, to be honest. Leeds have had a few little half chances, managing to get the ball in the box and stuff, but nothing major. Brentford have had a couple of crosses into the box that haven't really gone anywhere either. So it's been pretty evenly contested so far, but I'm hoping something breaks for Leeds in these early stages to try and get on top in this game and give us something to actually hold on to. As a long ball goes into the box, a really good touch. He's taken on Tyler Adams, he shoots, and the ball goes to Meslier, who is able to gather. That was a really, really good touch. I think it was that Lewis Potter. I think they signed him from Hull. David Raya takes a massive long goal kick, goes right over everyone, and Lewis Potter is able to bring that ball down, turn inside, do Koch and Tyler Adams and or Drama, and then Meslier is able to save. So it's a good job that wasn't a good shot. They're going to counter-attack here. Llorente is able to tackle. Really good defending there, apart from the fact that he's just grabbed him and pulled him down. Free kick to Brentford just outside Leeds' box near the corner flag. Is Dan James able to play for play against Leeds for Fulham whilst on loan? Yeah, I doubt it. So I don't think he will, because that'll just be something that Leeds will have put in place just to be sensible. The only thing, I'm not sure whether that is an obligation, like whether any loan deal is just a given that you're not allowed to play against your parent club, or it's something that clubs put into the contract specifically every time that they loan someone out. I'm not sure about that, but I don't think he'll be able to play against us. Nottingham Forest 0, whoever they're playing, Tottenham 0, Fulham 0, Wolves 0, Southampton 0. don't think any goals in any of the other games so far. Everton, Liverpool, Merseyside derby earlier finished 0-0. Apparently it wasn't a boring game though, even though it was 0-0. And apparently Pickford was man of the match, so Liverpool must have had a few chances in there. But Liverpool aren't doing great this season. If we win, we could go back above them, I think. Fizzed in to the front post, but Meslier is able to punch clear, but not far. Sinistera then gets a header away. Jack Harrison to Joffy. Joffy halfway inside his own half. Tries to shoot from the halfway line, and it barely even reached the touch line. I mean, I was talking about him needing confidence before, Joffy. The fact that he needs to get a goal early this season to have a bit of confidence. But seeing that, I don't think he needs it. Just shooting from the halfway line, just as you do. Brentford coming down our right hand side now. Drama is managing to get a tackle in. I can't tell whether this is going to be. Yeah, Brentford were. You say, Michael, Brentford won't be on the beach this time, but I feel like they were up for it because of the chance to send us down, because of all the mind the gap Thomas Frank chanting and all the sort of stuff that had gone on, like this sort of mini rivalry. I'll call it mini rivalry. It's not a proper rivalry, but the mini rivalry that happened over the last couple of years in the Championship. I feel like they were really up for it in that game, and you could tell by how much of a knob Canos was being that they were up for it. But yeah, I think it will be a bit of a different game today. Leeds won't be so anxious to go and get the winner, so hopefully we'll just be a bit calmer. But I mean, it worked last time. So ball whipped into the box, but it's just Meslier had no idea where the ball was then. Free kick was just whipped into the box by Brentford, and it sort of bobbled around between everybody's feet. But Meslier was able to not be troubled in the end by that. I think it's a corner. That's the thing as well, that we always need to remember now, that we can actually have a threat from set pieces. Brentford can as well, though. I really hope Janssen doesn't score here, but Brian and Burmo just about to take this corner whilst the referee is talking to Janssen and Tony. Come on, Leeds, let's get this header away. Ooh, ball was whipped into the box there. No one's able to get a clean contact, but Brendan Aronson is able to bring the ball out, skips past a couple of players, gets the ball to the halfway line, passes it into Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison on his own with 3 players around him, and he's brought down here. I think it was an advantage from the original Aronson foul. But can we just say that is what Aronson is so brilliant for? He's so good at that, and he completely just provides a different aspect. Leeds won the ball back on their own box, and Aronson got the ball to the halfway line single-handedly. And I think you can't undervalue that. He's able to skip past 2-3 players, get to the halfway line and pick up a foul where Leeds are now all pretty much in the opposition half. So Brendan Aronson being able to do that is a real like something that we've not really had before. Loose pass there from Mark Rocker, but Leeds are able to recover the ball. We just need to sharpen up our short passing here. Sinistera's just skipped past a couple. Oh, tried to play a ball out wide to Mark Rocker, but Rocker wasn't able to get on the end of it, just passed him. What does everybody think of the transfer window then? Let me know in the chat, because towards the end of last season we were saying, right, this is what we need. They did a lot of that business early on, and were really proactive and got good players in, and we were all very happy with them. But obviously what happened towards the end of the season, what happened towards the end of the window happened, and we needed a striker, and it got later and later and later, and obviously deadline day happened, which is just, it was mental, really, deadline day. So what do we think then? Was it a good window? Do we, once we've calmed down from deadline day and we can have a look at the window as a whole, do we think it was a good window? Personally, I think it was a really good window. Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, Mark Rocker, Luis Sinisterra, I'm all very, very happy with. Rasmus has had a bit of a shaky start, but I think he could become good. I'm putting my faith in him. I think he could get better and better. In the end, we did get Wilfred Gnonto, and I think he could be amazing in the future. But it was like what Ollie Ward tweeted when he said, the one that Radrizzani replied to, it's a little bit underwhelming, the Dieng deal. So again, it's like another level down. But I think when we actually start to look at Gnonto, and I did a video on him yesterday, if you want to check that out after the stream, he looks like a really, really promising player. He's only 18, but I think he'll be breaking into the first team before long, and I'm hoping he does. So it was just disappointing that I don't think you can blame the powers that be, Radrizzani, Orta and Kinnear, for the window. I think they had a good window, a very good window, and they've brought in some really good players. You can tell our recruitment's good. The only issue was how long we left it to get a striker. The striker we did get in the end, he's good, he's promising, I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I don't think we should have let Dan James go out on loan. But the actual stuff that happened with Orta flying to Eindhoven to speak to Gakpo, and Gakpo saying no, he didn't want to stay because he'd been convinced by Van Gaal and Ruud van Nistelrooy, I think that's not Orta's fault. He then tries to go for Bambi Dieng, and that one's pretty much done. They're in the airport, and Nice representatives collar Dieng and say, come here instead. So Leeds have to pull out of that one. So that's not really their fault either. They thought they were just getting a decent 22-year-old Senegalese striker in. Didn't work out that way. And so the fact we were able to still get a striker in is actually really impressive, given that we were rejected or sort of we failed to get the strikers that we wanted twice in that day. So the fact that we managed to do it, and we got an extension of the deadline because we'd already sort of done the paperwork, was quite impressive, to be honest. So I think you have to take it with a pinch of salt, or what happened on deadline day, because all in all, I think it's a really, really good window for Leeds. I think we look better as a team than we did last season, and that's saying something because we've obviously lost Calvin and Rafinha. Calvin didn't suit this system particularly well. He was good at playing as a lone holding midfielder, but this now works a little bit better for us, I feel, with the two midfielders complementing each other well, like I spoke about before. And the fact that we're playing with all these attackers, Aronson, who, speaking of which, has got the ball going into their box now, but was able to a really, really good tackle there. Can't quite tell who that was. Ben Mee with a really good sliding tackle on Brendan Aronson. But yeah, the forwards we were able to bring in, Luis Sinisterra looks really, really good, and he's not even at 100% fitness yet, so I can imagine he'll probably be taken off again today. But he was taken off for Dan James, I think, against Everton, so I don't know who. Maybe Somerville might come on for him instead. So that remains to be seen. But 18 minutes in here, Brentford 0, Leeds 0 at the Brentford Stadium. The ball just inside the Brentford half. Diego Llorente, who people were saying was very shaky the other day, he's made a few little mistakes, but nothing catastrophic. Ball into Joffrey here, who's just dropping deep to try and pick that up. I think Michael Brown's saying, I think given Leeds summer transfers for the most part, Calvin Phillips, Rafinha, money's been invested well, the final missing piece was a striker. Yeah, I totally agree. And the problem is there, exactly what you said. Tyler Adams coming towards the box now. Maybe a free kick there for Leeds, potentially. I'll go back to your comment in a second, Michael. Leeds are on the attack here. Yeah, we just recycled the possession. If our strikers remain fit and performing, then all good. That's exactly it. That's exactly the issue that we have, is that they can't. Bamford's injury prone, Gelhardt's injury prone, and Rodrigo's injury prone. So when they're all out, like, who do we have? And we can't even play Dan James there anymore. So we've now got Gnonto. So I'm glad we did that bit of business, because it just gives us a little bit of extra depth. And who's to say he won't score a couple of goals this season? He's quick, he's explosive. I think he could be very good for us this season. So I'm glad we did bring at least somebody in. But like you said perfectly there, you highlighted that it's about remaining fit. It's about remaining able to field at number 9. And sometimes it looks like we can't do that. So I'm hoping that Bamford comes on for a little bit today, because I feel like he plays as a really, really good focal point when he does come into this team. And his ability to hold the ball up is something that we haven't got in any of our other strikers, really. Even Rodrigo, who does like to drop deep for the ball, I don't think that he's anywhere near as good as Bamford at just backing into a player, bringing the ball down and trying to find feet, or trying to bring in the players around him. Because sometimes you need that. Sometimes you can't play around teams. Sometimes they're a bit like Everton was sitting so deep that sometimes it was hard to play around them or to play through them. So we were able to send long balls up to Bamford when he was on, and he was able to bring them down and bring in players around him. So I thought that was really good, and hopefully he can do a little bit of that today. Leeds have had a few little attacks here, but nothing where they've actually got into the box properly and had an attack on goal. Hopefully that can all change here. Harrison running at the defence now with a player holding on to him. He's in the box here. He's just about to win a corner. Oh, ball's just bounced past Sinistera and Joffrey. It took a deflected cross, went over everybody, directly in line with the goal. Nearly went out for a goal kick. Or a corner, sorry. And it just bounced past Sinistera and Joffrey. If it had been a better bounce there, it could have been 1-0 Leeds. It's more promising. It's more exciting. Leeds are getting up for it here, I think. Drama hasn't looked out of place at all as a first-team Premier League player this game so far, so let's hope that continues. Commentator saying Leeds fans in fine voice, which they always are. Ooh, bad touch from Jack Harrison. Don't see that very often. But recovered by Mark Rocker well, passes it into Pascal Struijk, who recycles it back to him. I think Leeds are doing okay here. They're applying the pressure a little bit. Brentford are sitting a little bit deeper than you would have expected them to before the game, and trying to soak up that pressure, which, I mean, it's probably... You can probably see from the Everton game that we struggle to break down teams who do sit in, so maybe that's just an adapted game plan for today. Pascal Struijk is about to pass it back to Brendan Aronson. Struijk looks like he's limping a little bit there in that corner. Pascal Struijk is about to try and put it in the box, but decides not to. Passes it to Harrison, who looked like he was offside, but I think there was some players in the box playing him on. Sinistera chasing one down in their half. Buemo's in the box, passes it to Potter. Oh, and it's a really, really good block by Robin Koch there. And Burmo there does a really good pass out to Keane Lewis Potter, and Robin Koch is able to make a really good block there. I think Meslier could have saved it. I think Pascal Struijk's still struggling here, limping around. Could be that he might have to come off for Yelder. Ooh, could be a penalty here to Brentford. Ball's bobbling around in the box a bit, and I think somebody slid into him. Let's have a look at this. There was a long throw-in taken into the box. Ball was headed down by Robin Koch, and then Sinistera slid in on Ivan Toney. Hits Pascal Struijk's shoulder. Maybe a penalty to Brentford here. potentially. VAR are checking. VAR are checking a handball at the moment, and I think it came off Pascal Strout's shoulder. No, I think Ivan Toney kicks Luis Sinistera's the back of Luis Sinistera's leg there. To me, Toney kicks Sinistera, and Sinistera gets his leg in front, and then it looks like to me Ivan Toney then kicks the back of his leg. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. But if it's not clear and obvious, which it's not, it shouldn't be a penalty. That should be the rule here. If it's not clear and obvious, it should be no penalty. The check is still going on here for a potential Brentford penalty if you've just joined us. Luis Sinistera slid in to try and kick the ball away whilst Ivan Toney was going for it as well. To me, it looks like Ivan Toney kicked the back of Sinistera's leg, but it looks as though they're still checking. Could be checking for... They were checking for a handball as well on Pascal Strout, who is pulling his arm out the way the whole time it's coming towards him. So I can't see how that would be given as a penalty. He's now going to check the monitors. Oh, and you know what that means. Pretty much every time they go to check the monitors, that's a penalty. So he's going to watch it back now. The referee, David Coote, I think it is. Or that might be the VAR ref. I can't remember what they look like, to be honest, all these refs. Commentator saying his effect is his shot at goal when it's an untidy challenge. It's an untidy challenge, but I feel like... So the referee's still checking. Could be a penalty. The referee's still checking it here. God, this is a long check. I don't know why it's taking so long to check it. Penalty. Penalty's been given. Sinistera gets a yellow card. Sorry, just before he takes this, Michael's saying non-top play for Italy. He's fleet of foot and fast and direct. Yeah, I think that's why Marsh's identified him, to be honest. When we do win those ball back in those transition moments, you want somebody who's fast and direct to go and just run at defenders. I've seen a couple of clips of him against Young Boys for Zurich where he was able to just skin players, and he's just so quick to the mark. So yeah, he looks very, very good. He's only 18, but I'm hoping that he just bursts on the scene this season and people are like, whoa, this kid's good. Back to today, though. Leeds have just conceded the award of a penalty. The penalty hasn't been taken yet. It's going to be Ivan Toney to take it against Ilian Meslier. Come on, Meslier. Use your massive, long body to save this. Come on. 5 out of 5 for Brentford. 17 out of in the Premier League, 17 out of 17 in total penalties in his career, I think. So Ivan Toney to take this penalty here against Ilian Meslier. Oh, and he scored it. 1-0 to Brentford then. Ivan Toney puts the ball up his shirt and sucks his thumb. Brentford 1, Leeds United 0 in this game then. Really good penalty. Sends Meslier the wrong way, puts it right in the corner. Nothing Meslier can really do about that. But the penalty is dubious, I would say. To say the least, the penalty is dubious. Really good finish from Ivan Toney, but I don't know how much I think that was a penalty. I feel a bit sorry for Sinistera. He obviously had that brilliant goal and performance last game, and he's just gone and done that. But I don't think it's entirely his fault, really. I don't think we can blame him too much for that. But Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it, for me. I'm going to be biased though, aren't I? There's no way I can't be biased, but I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought it was a bit of a 50-50 and no one was really going to get there anyway. And it looked to me on some of the angles like it was Ivan, like Sinistera got his foot in front of Ivan Toney and Ivan Toney kicked the back of his leg. But on the midweek fix, I did predict 2-1 to Leeds, so let's just hope that this is the start of our comeback. Lovely little ball from Matt Rocket into Gelhardt, who lays it off to Aronson, who passes it out to Strauch, now with Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams looking to play the ball into the box, but doesn't, plays it out wide again to Pascal Strauch, who seems to recover from that impact injury. Crossed it in, but it's knocked away. Matt Rocket had a volley there attempt, but wasn't able to get it. Wasn't able to get it through the defenders, was bounced away. Good little bit of interplay with Leeds, but a pass was overhit. Leeds win it back again with Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams battling here, has won it back again. Come on, Tyler. Keeps giving the ball away and winning it back again. Just don't give it away in the first place. You'll only have to win it back once. Good cross from Jack Harrison into the box. Sinistera tried to climb highest to get there. Wasn't able to. Mark Rocker now tries to cross it into the box. And Janssen is able to defend that, but it's gone out for a Leeds United corner. If we can get a goal back just before half-time, that'll be really, really good for us in this game, for our confidence levels, because I feel like we are capable of scoring in this game, but the more it goes on at 1-0, the more that confidence will wane. Ball just about to be whipped into the box now by Jack Harrison. Oh my God! He's just hit it near post again, and if it's a rehearsed routine, which it is, to go near post, because we've had success off that this season so far with Rodrigo scoring and Pascal Strauch flicking it on. I don't, like, why is Jack Harrison not able to beat the first man, though? Like, surely he should be able to beat the first man. It's awful. Anyway, Will's saying, what do you think of the third kit? Spoke about this before, Will's. It's just, I like the idea of the centralised badge and Adidas logo. I think that's like a really good idea and can look really smart if done properly. I just don't like the execution of it. I feel like why Leeds in a black kit with orange on it, and Mbeumo's just passed it into the box for Ivan Toney. Meslier with a really good save, but it's gone back out to Mbeumo again. Oh, and it's been given offside. Yeah, I like the idea of the centralised. I don't like the orange. I don't like the stripes on the kit as well. I feel like they could have done a lovely centralised kit with like a proper Leeds blue with the centralised badge and stuff with like yellow stripes or white stripes on the shoulders or anything. think that would have looked really, really nice. But yeah, they've gone for that. And I bought the home and away kit, and the away kit's grown on me. But I won't be buying the third kit. I don't know. I just don't really like it. It's not horrendous, but like it's just not something I'd buy. 33 minutes in here, Brentford had just had another really good chance, but Meslier able to save it. Meslier with the ball in his hands at the moment. So, like I said a minute ago, I'm really hoping that we can get a goal back before half-time, because the longer this goes on at 1-0 to Brentford, the more our confidence starts to drop. But I'm hoping that Marshy's plan is to bring Bamford on a little bit later in the game, so that he can try and get in there. Yeah, I mean, even if. So you say, yeah, Wills is saying in the chat, when I first looked at it, I was wondering why they didn't use yellow instead of orange. I agree, and I also think that even if they'd have, like, the stripes, it wouldn't have been too bad if, like, say if it was this colour, this like really like navy blue, but it's black and like black and grey, and it just, I don't know, I just feel like even if they'd have done it navy blue with yellow stripes or white stripes, ooh, good strike there by Mark Rocker, but it was a clean strike, but it was able to be caught by David Raya in the end. Yeah, I feel like if they'd have done it like this dark blue colour, with white stripes or yellow stripes and white socks, then it could have been really, really nice, but they didn't go for that in the end. Yeah, Michael's just saying a good thing about Rafinha. Mostly consistent with his dead ball crossing and free kicks, whereas Harrison and KP tended to be inconsistent. Yeah, I agree with that. Harrison sometimes, like the one against Chelsea where he whipped it in for Rodrigo's header, was a really good cross, and he's capable of doing that. But sometimes his corners are just awful. I feel like sometimes you should just put Aronson on those on his own, let him whip them in. Just been put out to the far side with Cody Drammer now. Ball with Robin Koch, and he's going to pass it across the back. Matt Rocker has the ball here. Cooper back on the bench as well today. Forgot about that one. Pascal just tried to take a throw in and nearly sort of fell over then. Tyler Adams with the ball on the halfway line here. 10 minutes to go till half time. Leeds aren't down and out in this game. We kind of, to me, have looked the better team, but I think that's because Brentford are trying to counter-attack. Janssen and Joffrey trying to battle it out here, but Janssen's played a little tight pass inside. Brentford are able to get out here, although they have just gone back again and then cleared the ball. Cody Drammer's not been bad. He's not had a massive amount to do, but I don't think he's been bad today. He hasn't shown himself up in any way so far. Tyler Adams getting a bit angry here at the referee. I think somebody was holding on to him. He's indicating that somebody's just elbowed him. Yeah. I can't tell who that is. Is it Rico Henry? I think it's Rico Henry. He's leant back and elbowed Tyler Adams. He's got hold of his entire shorts and wedging him. How have Leeds not got the free kick there when Rico Henry's literally just wedgied Tyler Adams? Pascal Strout clears the ball there. Jack Harrison plays a ball down the line, but Ben Mee's able to clear the ball. Throwing halfway inside the Leeds half, halfway inside the Brentford half. Then I don't think Leeds have been bad, and I don't think Brentford have been particularly fantastic. I think they've come to play a game where they sit back a little bit and hit Leeds on the break, which they've done a couple of times, but to no avail other than obviously the penalty, but that came from a corner. So yeah, Leeds have had more of the ball, but I think that's their game plan. Jack Harrison cutting inside here, plays the ball into Luis Sinisterra. Luis Sinisterra on the edge of the box does a couple of men. Just too many people around him. And for everybody asking, somebody's just put it in. Four comments ago, somebody just put it in. I think Diego Llorente has just gone down with a bit of a whack to the head. Maybe it was Ivan Toney. A bit of an elbow, I think, maybe. Yeah, well, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, Will's the same with Brentford Man United 4-0. For a lot of confidence, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? If you just battered them, you would be on top of the world. I think I had a couple of games. It looked like Diego Llorente went down holding his head off the ball, and I didn't really see what happened on the replay. It looked like Tony wasn't anywhere near him. Sinisterra now with the ball. Matt Rocker, tries to play a ball inside. Joffrey's in here. Joffrey's in! Oh, just past the post. Oh. It's a really, really nice flick inside the box there. And Joffrey tries to do a bit of a laces outside of the football, outside of the foot shot. And, it's close. It's close. He doesn't quite catch it where he wants to. And it just goes past David Raya's post. That's close. If he'd have got a bit more power on it and aimed it more at the goal, it probably would have gone in. Hasn't scored since March, Joffy. That'll have been against... was that against Norwich? Or did he score after that? Someone let me know. Has Joffy scored since the Norwich game? Another ball whipped into the box here. Ben Mee here. Brentford having a little bit of a sustained pressure here, but Cody Drama doing well to try and win the ball back. Free kick to Brentford on the edge of the Leeds box, which I don't think was a free kick, and he's rolling around holding his shins and slapping the floor. Some of these players could honestly win Oscars for their performances. Like, he's barely touched you and you're diving around, rolling on the floor. Oh, they ran into each other. No, that's not a free kick. He ran into him and fell over. I hate that. Like, surely the referee knows that the player is trying to game the system. And like, he's just, like, touched it past Robin Koch and then just whacked into him and fallen over. Like, what are you doing? So, free kick on the edge of the Leeds box here for Brentford. Thomas Frank writing something down in his notebook. I just hope this hits the wall or just flies over the bar, nice and safe, and then Leeds can just go again. So, 3 players stood over the ball here. Ivan Toney, Brian and Burmo, and I can't quite tell who the other one is. The other one's just gone into the box. And Ivan Toney's shot. Oh my god. Ivan Toney has just absolutely whacked a thunderbolt into the top right corner. There's nothing Melier could have done about that. He just absolutely tonked one into the top right hand corner. It's 2-0 here to Brentford. Penalty and a free kick. Don't think it should have been a free kick to start with. But just before half time, instead of Leeds getting a goal, Brentford have got a goal. And that, like, that's... I'm sorry, but that is a ridiculous free kick. That is a ridiculous free kick. I think that's goalkeeper's side. It looks like it's going outside the post. Oh. What are you meant to do about that? That's a ridiculous goal. But shouldn't have been a free kick in the first place, so I think we have a right to be annoyed about that one. We should not have been a free kick in the first place. Ivan Toney with a fantastic goal. Really, really good goal there. Now we definitely need to get a goal and fairly quickly, because if we don't and it gets later on and it's 2-0, like, yeah, we do need to have a, like, Melvin's just saying, are we allowed to shoot? We just keep going back. Yeah, well, that's the thing. We do need to shoot, but sometimes the players just, like, it's one extreme or the other. Like, Joffy had a shot from the halfway line before, and Mark Rocket had a shot from way too far out. Like, there's a middle ground here. Oh, Jack Harrison's got the ball here. He's trying to whip it into the box. Oh my god, it's frozen. That was so close. Jack Harrison's just absolutely whipped a ball into the... anyone looking for the link? It's Game Cove put it in before. Just search that. Jack Harrison whips a lovely ball into the box. It's going to Joffy, and Ben Mee is so close to putting it in his own top corner. Christensen's picked up a knock in training, so he's naturally not going to be playing in this game because of that. Apparently he could be back for the Forest game, but he is for the moment out injured. Please have got a corner here, but I've frozen, it seems. 3 added minutes then. That corner obviously didn't go in. Leeds are on the halfway line now with Pascal Struijk. Oh my god, it's gone straight through to Sinistera. Sinistera's taken it over the top of the player. Sinistera shoots. Oh! Yes, what a goal! Perfectly when we needed it. Absolutely perfectly when we needed it. Sinistera is filth. That was unreal. He's just flicked it right over the top of the defender's head, took a touch and thought, right, there's a defender catching me here. I'm just going to blast it in the bottom corner. He is filth. He's unbelievable. What a signing he's been so far in the 2 games that he's played well. That's unreal. That's absolutely class. Sinistera's flicked it over a Brentford player's head and then just whacked it in the bottom corner from the edge of the box. That's exactly what we needed before half-time. Get in there, Sinistera. 2-1. Let's change that score because Leeds have scored with Luis Sinistera. Fantastic goal. Just before the stroke of half-time, so we only need 1 goal to level it up now in the second half. That's a really, really good time to score. Luis Sinistera. We all said on the midweek fix we think he could be flop of the season because Lightning doesn't strike twice. And like you just wouldn't expect somebody to just be coming and be as good as Rafinha. But from all we've seen so far, and he's not at 100% fitness. Brentford have just volleyed way over the bar. He's not at 100% fitness. He's been really, really good. What a goal that was. What a goal. The reason the time has gone off up there is just because it's half-time, so the second half-timer will start as soon as the second half comes on, but it is 45 minutes now that we're at. 47 minutes and 20 seconds here of the 3 minutes added time. 30 seconds to go. So we're just hoping that Leeds can get back into this in the second half. We could do a bit of a Q&A at half time because obviously there's not much else to do other than look at that beautiful Sinistera goal back. But that was unbelievable, yeah. Yeah, Sinny's definitely an upgrade on Dan James. But I think the issue was that I would have liked to have had Dan James as well, just as an option off the bench. Half time then here at Brentford Community Stadium, or the GTEC Community Stadium now, but I didn't really want to sponsor them. But 2-1 now to Leeds. A really, really good goal from Ivan Toney, that free kick. Unbelievable, absolute, whacked it in the top corner. But Sinistera has scored a really, really good goal to claw one back. So in the second half, let's really, really hope that Leeds can get back into this game. Brentford 2, Leeds 1. Yeah, I should take my headphones off so that I can't hear all the half-time chat, so I can talk to you a lot. What does everybody think then of that first half? Let me know down in the comments. With James going, it opens the door for Somerville. Yeah, I've never been that convinced by Somerville. I can't give you a direct link because I'm streaming and stuff, and obviously we're not supposed to. Yeah, Somerville I've never been that convinced by. I don't think I've seen anything in games that have really convinced me that much. I'd like to see him come in and do really well, potentially score a couple of goals and get a couple of assists, but I don't know if he is the natural successor on that side for this team. I don't know if he's that fantastic, but yeah, other than him, you've got other players waiting in the wings to try and come through, but I don't know if anybody was as first team ready as what Dan James was. Now, Dan James didn't have amazing end product, did he? But let's have a look. Dan James stats 21-22. He did score a couple of goals for Leeds last season, so let's have a look. We don't want 22-23, we want 21-22. So, show Dan James, it's saying here on Transfermarkt. So, Dan James last season, 34 games, 4 goals, 5 assists. Now, that's not horrendous. Like, we all criticise him for having no end product, but I think if you put Crescencio Somerville in there for a long period of time, I don't think he scores 4 goals and gets 5 assists in a season yet. I mean, I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, because we've obviously loaned Dan James out, so Sinistera could come in. Crescencio Somerville could come in and do a job there. But I don't think he contributes as much as Daniel James at this point in time. I'm hoping he could, but not great. Being muscled off the ball too easily, too slow when we get up front. Seem to have no ideas. Are we talking about Somerville, Tasha, or are we talking about Dan James? Because I know it could apply to Dan James, because although he is ridiculously fast, sometimes his decision making is slow, and his legs can't keep up with his mind can't keep up with his legs, so he ends up just whacking the ball to the wrong place basically. So yeah, it's us in general today. Yeah, decision making's not been fantastic, has it? Sometimes we give the ball away in positions where you think if you'd have just kept that simple, we could have kept the ball, or we shoot in ridiculous places, like when Joffy shot, when we probably could have had a counter attack when he shot from the halfway line. So yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating, but I'm just hoping that in this second half we could bring Bamford on. The fact that we can bring Bamford off the bench is a massive improvement from last season. Like, we've got a striker up front in Joffy that scored a few goals last season. Let's go around the grounds though first before we go into Everton-Liverpool finished 0-0. Chelsea-West Ham 0-0 at half-time. Newcastle-Crystal Palace 0-0 at half-time. Forest-Bournemouth 2-0 to Forest. Spurs are beating Fulham 1-0 and Wolves are beating Southampton 1-0, and the late kickoff is Villa versus Manchester City. How do I feel about the Rodrigo injury? Yeah, Rodrigo, I think it's come at a really, really bad time because of the way that he's been playing. His confidence was an all-time high, so you just felt he was going to keep getting goals and assists and keep playing well, and he's got that injury now, and I feel like when he comes back he probably won't be in that rich vein of form anymore, or he definitely won't be in that rich vein of form anymore. So we've just got to hope that Bamford can stay fit, and that Joffy can score a couple of goals, and hopefully Wilfred Gnonto can come in and score a couple of goals. Yeah, he was on form, could have gone to the World Cup. Yeah, he could have done. He was really playing well. He was really playing well for us, and it's a shame that he's got injured, because it gave us an extra option that we didn't really know we had in him, because he hadn't been good really for the past 2 seasons. He hadn't really been good, had he? But the fact that he started scoring goals is just watching a Sinistera replay here. What a goal! Yeah, really, really good. Happy with Sinistera. Yeah, the fact that he scored those goals and he was in form and in confidence, I think he was doing really well, Rodrigo. But it's just a shame that injury's come at that time, because it's just obviously a nightmare for him. He's improved since pre-season. Yeah, even in pre-season he wasn't great. Although in that game against Cagliari, although it's Serie B opposition and they're not great, we were able to get a hat-trick from Rodrigo in that game, which I was at, which was a good, nice little curtain opener for the season. Gnonto and Joffy look very similar, except Gnonto looks better on the ball, while Joffy seems to be a poacher. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think from what I've seen, obviously we've seen a lot of Joffy, so we know that he's pretty much a bit of a poacher, but he's also able to drop the shoulder and stuff, but he's not as quick. Whereas Gnonto seems to have that that absolutely explosive ability to just go at a man and do really, really. Oh, I think Isak went through against Palace in that game and tried to chip the keeper and wasn't able to. Who's been good today? Brendan Aronson, I feel, has been good, bringing the ball out from the back and giving us that out ball, just pulling us up the pitch when we need to, just absolutely dragging us up the pitch to that halfway line at least when the ball's been in there. So I think he's done really well today. I think Tyler Adams, although he's been really good at breaking the ball up and breaking up the play, the only issue I have with him is that he keeps giving it away as well. So he keeps giving the ball away, then going back and winning it again. So that's all well and good, but you kind of need to not give the ball away in the first place. Joffy's nobody's been fantastic, to be honest. I think Jack Harrison's done all right at getting crosses into the box, but I don't think that he seems to be Jack Harrison seems to be like a set outball. Like, he is the outball for this team, and we noticed that against Everton in midweek. When Leeds weren't really having any options, it was Mark Rocker or Tyler Adams who would just chip the ball out to that left wing, and that was where Harrison was able to pick up the ball, or Strauch overlapping him. That seems to be the option there. So Harrison sees quite a lot of the ball in this formation, and was able to whip the ball in a couple of times, get one that nearly went in for an own goal from Ben Mee. So I think that Harrison has been good, but I think overall we could be better. Sinisterra scored that brilliant goal, but other than that, he obviously gave the penalty away, but I don't think we can really blame him for that. But I don't think Sinisterra has been involved in the game as much as you would have liked him to. He's done a similar job to Aronson in the fact that he's taken on men, dropping the shoulder, and done a little bit of that, but we didn't really see any end product until right at the end of the half, when he obviously scored that brilliant goal. So I'm just hoping that in the second half we bring on Bamford a little bit. So maybe in the 50th, well, not 50th because that's straight after half time, but maybe in the 60th minute we get Bamford on, give him half an hour, and just see what he can do up there, because I feel like he's got a goal in him, especially because our outball is Jack Harrison. If we've got somebody in the box who can win headers, like, we could score a couple of goals in this game. Like, I feel like it's there. I feel like we have the opportunity to put the ball in the box. Patrick Bamford's the type of player who could get on the end of those. So I'm hoping that he comes on. I don't think we need to change too much at the back, although do you think that Drama being on the right is inhibiting his play a little? I think Drama is a little bit cautious to go forward. He has gone forward a couple of times, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's too brave in the way that he goes forward, to be honest. I think he's a little bit tentative, a little bit negative going forward. But I think he hasn't done anything that's really bad, and that's the thing. If you're coming in as somebody who's a really young player from the under-21s who he really wants to make an impression, because obviously when he pushed for that loan deal last season to go out to Cardiff, and when he gets his chance, which he's got this weekend because of Christensen's got a slight knock, so he's coming into the team and he's thinking, right, I don't want to do anything badly wrong, I don't want to mess up really badly. So I think he may be playing it safe in some situations, but I also think that Marsh might want to play this system slightly lopsided, if you get what I mean. So you just talked about Strauch saying Strauch gets higher up the pitch and that helps Harrison and he overlaps and stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like that might be purposeful, because I don't think in the other games that we've seen Rasmus has ever got particularly massively high up the pitch. I don't think he's ever pushed up ridiculously high. He does overlap sometimes and he does get higher, but I think Strauch does it more, which is weird considering Strauch's the one that's a centre back, but I feel like that's just the overload that they try and create on that side of the pitch. So maybe in this, I mean, Drama's not going to come off because we haven't got any other right back. We have played well, and I thought got done with a pen and a top free kick. Yeah, the penalty I don't think was particularly a penalty, and the free kick definitely wasn't a free kick, but was a really good finish, like a really good finish. Like, you can't say anything against that. It was an amazing goal. But I think we've stayed in the game without playing particularly well. Like you're saying, we've played well. I think we've played okay. We've not been bad. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We've not been bad at any point really, but we haven't been at our best. Like, we're not going to recreate that Chelsea performance anytime soon, because I think that was a bit of an anomaly and a bit of a one-off, and they played into our hands quite a bit. But I think we can improve on that first half, definitely, because although we had a lot of the ball, and that makes it seem like we did play quite well, I think a lot of that was contributed by the fact that Thomas Frank's come with the game plan that it obviously is working so far because they're winning, which is to sit back and let Leeds come onto them and try to hit us on the break and hit us on the counter-attack. That's obviously worked because they've got 2 goals, albeit set pieces. But I feel like we just need to be a bit more clinical and a bit more calm in the final third. Like, a lot of our final third passes are hitting defenders and not going through to our players. The one time that we had like a clear-cut one-on-one opportunity was when the ball was just flicked through for Joffy, and he was able to get his laces on the end of it, and he just sort of fizzed it wide. I don't think we've had any major opportunities other than that. Nemimi is saying, should Strout cross more? I think he sometimes doesn't trust himself to cross. He probably thinks, well, Harrison's a better crosser than me, so I'll pass it back, which can sometimes hinder us a little bit because Jack Harrison might not be in as good of a crossing position. But I think Strout is very capable of crossing a good ball into the box. We've seen it a couple of times this season already, where the ball's fallen to him and he's just curled a really nice pass into the box, a really nice cross. I think he's capable of doing that. So I just want him to trust himself to cross it in more. I'd be happy with that if he was just even if a couple of them go wrong, just trust yourself a little bit more to cross it into the box. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping from Strauch in the second half. Radio suggesting that Melier was poorly placed. So with the second goal, with their free kick, it was a weird one because if you imagine that, so I'm Melier, right, and in front of me are my wall like this, right? So they're here, so I can obviously still see this bit here. Brentford then put another 3 or 4 players there, and then those players, when the free kick came, sort of ducked, so he could look like only just see that last second. And the way it then flew into the top corner, Melier wasn't like... I don't think any keeper's saving that. You can't blame Melier, I don't think. I don't think any keeper's saving that. Chatting Lee's Charlie saying, deserved the goal at the end of that half. Better team apart from their goals. Yeah, and Penn was never a Penn yet. I agree about the penalty. And Gary's saying that the referee on BT Sport 1 said he wouldn't have given the penalty. Yeah. To me, it was a 50-50 where people were just trying to get to the ball first, and it looked like Sinisterra's leg got there in front of Ivan Toney. I mean, I'm putting my leg out as if it's in front of Ivan Toney, but you can't see. I forget that sometimes. And yeah, and it just looked like it was a bit of a 50-50. Bamford is coming on here. I'm putting my headphones back on so I can hear a little bit of the commentary whilst I talk to you guys. But Bamford is coming on now for this second half. So Bamford is just about to come on now. This time I'm going to make sure I actually start the timer at the start of the half because I forgot last time. That way we'll actually be keeping up with me. Yeah, I totally agree. Surely if you have to look at the penalty for incident for 3 minutes on replay, it's not a clear penalty. That's what I said when it happened as well. I said, like, surely this is not clear and obvious if it's taken this long. And I'm sure they'll probably mention that on Match of the Day. And I imagine that Alan Shearer loves mentioning clear and obvious. So I'm hoping that he does today and bring attention to that situation, because the fact that they were looking for so long at that penalty makes it seem like if they couldn't make a decision in that amount of time, then he had to go to the screen. Then when he went to the screen, usually when they go to the screen, they look at it and they go, penalty or no penalty, like straight away when they've seen it. He took another 30 seconds to a minute just watching the blooming monitor. So like, yeah, I don't get it. Second half has just kicked off at the Brentford Community Stadium. Bamford has come on. I will just see in a second who came off for him, but I think Joffy's still on, you know. Bamford's back on here in the right-hand corner. He has the ball at the moment and passes it back to Tyler Adams. We're just about to see the Leeds lineup, and I'm guessing it'll say who he came on for. It might be Sinisterra, you know. No, Sinisterra's still on. You can see by his green boots. Matt Rocker, Tyler Adams, everything's still on. Patrick Bamford, Brendan Aronson, Sinisterra. Gelhardt. Oh, Tyler Adams is starting to fight here with Jensen. He threw him down a little bit there, I think. Am I being thick? I can't tell. I can't remember like what the lineup was to see who's gone off. Let's have a look at the lineup and see who I think's gone off. For some reason, I just can't remember. Oh, Harrison. Harrison's gone off. Patrick Bamford, Harrison. Yeah, Harrison was the one that's gone off, and I said he was one of our better players and more of the outball in that half. But it seems to me, yeah, Jensen just completely dragged down Adams then and threw him onto his face. No wonder Adams was fuming. The reason I think Harrison has gone off is because we're no longer playing the 4-2-3-1 with those players like the three in behind the striker. I think we're now playing 4-2-2, and Harrison is better as a wide man. So you get a bit of more width, don't you, with a left and a right attacking midfielder and a central one, because you need to spread out a little bit more. So I feel like Harrison isn't as good in that role, playing a little bit more centrally. So we've now gone to a 4-2-2, I think, with Sinisterra and Aronson in behind Joffrey and Bamford. So he's gone attacking. That's all we could ask for. We need a goal, and he's gone a little bit more attacking in this second half. So let's just hope that this comes off, because when we saw the 4-2-2 last season, we weren't fantastic with it. Sinisterra now with the ball does a nice little flick through his legs, keeps the ball, passes it back to Tyler Adams, into Mark Rocker, back out to Luis Sinisterra. Sinisterra is going to look to get the ball in the box here, passes it inside. Robin Koch has just been... Brentford are breaking here. Brentford just coming over the halfway line into Leeds' half. Llorente flicks a leg, can't get there. Ball's switched out to the other side. Ball's about to be crossed in the box, and I can't see. Oh my god, why is that? What is that timing? Oh, it didn't go in, thank god. Somebody caught in two minds apparently. Ivan Toney, I think. So the ball, this is where I left it. The ball was flicked out to the left-hand side with, I think, that Lewis Potter. Puts the ball into the box. Yeah. Wasn't a great cross. If it had been a good cross, it would have been a goal, but it wasn't, and it went straight past. Oh, Bamford's in here. Oh, I mean, Bamford's shot was so bad then. Bamford just broke down the right hand side. I don't know if it was that horrendous, but he tried to put it across the face of goal, and it nearly went out for a throw-in, but it was the angle, because he had to try and come back onto it on his left foot. He should have tried near post, to be honest. Yeah, not great. Not a great finish from Patrick Bamford there. He should have just tried to go near post, and then potentially would have won a corner anyway. He tried to go across the keeper from that angle, and I don't think it was ever going to go in from there. Nice little flick from Sinisterra. Gets the ball into Adams. Ball misses Aronson, but goes out to Cody Drama. Aronson picks up the ball just outside the Brentford box, but Brentford are able to recover with a sliding tackle, and they're on the break again. Leeds have got numbers back though. 6 Leeds players and 4 Brentford players in this counter-attack. Ball whipped into the box, far post, and Keane Lewis Potter is able to only head for a Leeds goal kick. Okay start to this second half. I think... I wonder if that more direct style will be easier to shut down for Brentford's compressed defence. I don't know, to be honest. I feel like so far it might have worked a little bit in the other way, in the fact that because we've now got 2 strikers up there, we're occupying more of their defenders and giving them more to think about, which obviously if our 2 strikers are occupying their 2 centre-backs, that then gives Aronson and Sinisterra a little bit more licence to run at players. Aronson, speaking of which, has just given the ball away, but Leeds have recovered it well. I think the fact that we have 2 up front might occupy their strikers a little bit more and allow Sinisterra and Aronson a little bit more time on the ball and get them into the game, which is maybe what they were after. But Aronson's just dropped deep here to win the ball and plays it into Joffrey. Joffrey's given the ball away and tried to win it back, but hasn't quite. Nearly though. David Raya clears the ball, and I think he might have cleared it into touch there. No. Leeds have won the ball. Leeds are trying to pin Brentford in here, and Brentford can't get out really without really Leeds having any quality possession. Joffrey's just done a really... Oh! That's such good defending by Brentford. Joffrey just did a really nice turn, cut inside, and was able to flick the ball through for Bamford. But the bounce was just too high for him. And when Bamford got... Oh, yeah, maybe he's just offside. It looked like in line to me, but... Oh, it wasn't even defending. Bamford just flicked it over the bar. Yeah, I think Bamford is rusty. Oh, no, it was. It was a deflection. I take it back. That looked like it was actually going to be on target. Yeah, that looked like it was actually going to be on target. He was going to try and curl it in the top corner, but a really, really good bit of defending from the Brentford defender there. I couldn't quite see which defender it was, but he was able to get a leg in the way and flick it over the bar. So hopefully Bamford just needs a few more of those little chances to get his eye in, get his aim set, and then hopefully he scores the goal that makes it 2-2. Henry's just tried to play the ball forward, but Mellier's able to collect with ease there. That's okay, Dave. Nobody's forcing you to watch it. Meslier just plays the ball out here. Yeah, Leeds look like they're pinning in Brentford a little bit more in this half, and I feel like it is to do with the fact that Marsh has gone 4-2-2-2, so maybe that was a good decision from him. Seems like a long time ago we were talking about whether Bamford would make it in the Premier. Yeah, it does. I mean, in that Championship, we did... in the Championship, we did struggle, really, with Bamford. He was so profligate in front of goal. He never really managed to score as many goals as he should have done, given the chances that he was having. But when he came into the Premier League, he just completely blew everyone's minds by scoring 17 goals and getting 7 assists. Leeds just outside the Brentford box, but are able to be tackled. Aronson was taken off the ball far too easily there, weak from him. Tyler Adams getting the ball to Luis Sinisterra. Have a shot, Luis. Or Luis, probably. Ooh. Matt Rocker's had another shot just gone over the bar. Yeah, Sinisterra passes it into Adams, who lays it off to Rocker. Rocker has a shot and it's just over the bar. I need Rocker to just get his head over it a bit more and get one of these on target, because you never know, they could go in. So long ball forward, flicked on. Ball's just gone through. I already know that this hasn't gone in because I think your name's Robert, isn't it? Robert Bailey. Oh, Jonathan Bailey. I can't remember. You've changed your name to Ice Ice Bailey, which you probably just wanted me to read out. But yeah, the counter-attack's just gone through there and wasn't quite able to score it. It's a good save from Meslier, to be fair. Meslier is always good in those situations because he's just so big. His limbs are so long that he's able to spread himself really, really wide, which is such a good thing for a goalkeeper to have in one-on-one situations. So yeah, Meslier there saving wide. It's now a corner to Brentford. Corner just about to be taken. 54th minute. Ball into the box. Oh, even Tony just tried to. Do a half volley sort of scissor kick thing, but it was deflected over, I think. Aronson just bundled down there. Takes a free kick quickly. Jesse Marsh is fuming about something. Oh, Jensen's still down. Nothing even happened, so. So Jensen fouls Aronson and then goes down holding his leg. How does that work? Where's the logic? Brentford player and a sub. Yeah, I mean, Thomas Frank is a very astute tactical manager, so he will have a plan for this situation because Leeds are on top here. but they do have those chances on the counter attack. So maybe it's somebody who's decent in those counter attack situations. My God, I've just gone back like 30 seconds for some reason. I actually don't know who that Brentford player is that's coming on. Tottenham 1, Fulham 0. Wolves 1, Southampton 0. Everton 0, Liverpool 0 was the early kickoff. Spoiler alert. Don't say in the chat because I'm behind if somebody scores. But, I mean, that's depressing if it's actually true. Oh my God, was that because of Mark Rocker's terrible pass? Oh, he's made a good challenge though to win the ball back. Oh, Luis Sinisterra's in. Straight into the arms of the keeper. Yeah, I don't think Sinisterra was ever going to score from that angle. If he was, it would have taken a little bit more power. Oh my God. So... Oh my God, is this what happened? 3-1, yeah. I couldn't tell whether Melvin was trolling everybody, but 3-1 to Brentford. Meslier came charging out. He won the tackle, but it went straight back to a Brentford player. They were able to then pass the ball a couple of times. Meslier was never going to be able to get back into his goal in time, and then they chipped it over. Llorente, I think it was, who was on the line. That's just really bad defending. Both Llorente and Koch have missed the ball, and then Ivan Toney is in acres of space and just is able to dink the is able to dink Robin Koch. That's really bad defending in the first instance. They shouldn't have been beaten to the ball the first time. It's awful. It's not even about needing a striker. That's a simple defensive mistake, that bit. That's a really simple defensive mistake that we've just made. As that's Ivan Toney's hat-trick. We were coming back into this game and we were playing well, and we've gone and done that, and it's just killed us. We've just killed ourselves in that situation. Like, what were we doing? Yeah, Logic Pack, it's so frustrating being a Leeds fan. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brentford bringing on a substitution now. Josh De Silva is on. Keane Lewis Potter is offside, the one that went through. Off for... and Onyeka is on, and Baptiste is off. We need players, and we sign players, but get rid of Phillips and Raheem. I don't get it. Sometimes you have to. Like, you can't. We couldn't have kept on to... couldn't speak then. We couldn't have kept hold of Phillips and Rafinha. Clicker's just come on. Gelhardt off. Crescentio Somerville just in down the left here. Ball inside to Pascal Strout. Pascal Strout's nearly slipped it through there. We did so well to get back into the game, and then we were playing well, and we were physically back in the game with that one goal from... The club does have ambition, but we need to be realistic about where we are and how much money we can possibly spend. We've had a really, really good start to the season here. We've had a really, really good start to the season. We can't just go completely negative just because we're losing this game. We've had a really good start to the season, so much better than last season. Although Brentford are in again here. Good defending from Robin Koch. We've had a really good start to the season. If you think that we've beat Chelsea 3-0, no, at the start of the season, we all expected to finish about 14th with the signings that we'd made at that point. Just because we beat Chelsea 3-0 and we were unbeaten for our first 4 games doesn't mean that we are expecting to be... Bamford would have been in then. It doesn't mean that we're expecting to finish in Europe. It really doesn't mean that we're expected to finish in Europe. Like, we've had a really good start to the season, but we're still expecting to finish 14th. Brentford are a good side. Brentford are a well-organised side. They've made some good signings. They've got some decent players, and they play well as a team. I'll see that in a minute. How is that not a penalty? We'll see that in a minute for Somerville. I don't really know what... So, Joffrey came off for Click, but Click's not a striker, so is Somerville playing as a striker, or is Sinistera gone up there? Or it's hard to tell, really, because they're all around each other, really. It looks like Sinistera might have gone up as a striker with Bamford. Although I can't see him on my screen at the moment. Really good ball down the line for Aronson. Aronson whips it in, but wasn't able to get a meter man. So as long as Leeds are not... yeah, that's exactly it. So as long as Leeds aren't dragged into a relegation scrap, it'll be a decent season. Yeah, well, that's all we need. We just need to finish mid-table. Yeah, that's the one that Somerville's just been brought down, but I'm guessing it's not a penalty from what you were saying before, Mr. Bailey. I mean, maybe he's gone down a little bit easily, Somerville there, but I have seen them given a lot of times. Yeah, he does get pushed, and he's not exactly yeah, from that other angle, he does look like he gets pushed. But then nothing given. It's a frustrating game because we haven't been horrendous. Like, no matter what people are saying, like, we haven't been horrendous in that game. And to be honest, it's hard to say that we've been the better team because possession doesn't really mean anything. We've had a lot of the ball. Possession doesn't really mean anything. But Jesse Marshall's just got a red card. Well, we knew that was coming at some point this season. Because, I mean, it should have been a penalty. He's been pushed. If you get a red card, you don't just have to go and sit in the stands. He's had to go down the tunnel. Who do you support, Penny Lane? Because I'm not making excuses. That literally should have been a penalty, and your penalty wasn't a penalty, and your free kick wasn't a penalty if you're a Brentford fan. Your free kick wasn't a free kick, not a penalty. Another free kick here on the edge of Leeds' box. I mean, yeah, he just stopped in front of Koch and then taken the impact and gone down. Yeah, the referee is completely playing into their hands here. Like, Brentford have got the referee eating out the palm of their hands. He's giving all the decisions that they want because it's tactical. Like their free kick that they scored from, he purposely ran into Robin Koch and fell over to get a free kick. But it's the referee's fault for believing them. He should just be doing that thing where you just go, get up, because to me, some of these have not been free kicks. Another free kick here for Brentford. Just over the bar. Just over the bar. Yeah, he's just grazed the top of the crossbar even, Tony. At points in this game, when it was 2-1 and we started the second half really, really well, we could have been back in this game. We really could have been, but they were able to just get that goal, which is a defensive mistake, a clear defensive mistake. Yeah, it's really poor, really poor that. Robin Koch and Diego Llorente both making the exact same mistake and allowing them to score. It was awful. Maybe 3-3 like last season. So yeah, I'm hoping that if we score soon, then we've got a chance. But it just doesn't seem like that at the moment. David Raya just takes his goal kick. I mean, he did that thing against Rafinha in the game last season, that mistake. Passes it into Bamford. Tyler Adams heads it out to Rocker. Leeds halfway inside the Brentford half here, trying to create something. Matt Rocker. Passes it inside. Click passes it. Goes to Bamford. Aronson shoots. Goes out, I think, for a corner, maybe. I don't think we do. Well, okay, so Anshuman is saying that we have one of the worst defensive partnerships in the league. I think Robin Koch is a very, very good defender. I think Diego Llorente is a wild chicken sometimes. He just runs away like sometimes you just don't know what he's going to do. And honestly, I'm really glad that Cooper's back on the bench. I think Cooper needs to start getting back in this starting lineup as a left centre-back. A lot of people complain about Cooper, but he doesn't make that many mistakes and he heads the ball clear. He does everything he's supposed to and he doesn't do any stupid things. I think Llorente is the weak point. I think if Cooper comes back in and plays alongside Robin Koch, that we're much more solid at the back, and that's how I'd do it. In the Forest game, I would have Cooper in there. Brentford has still got the ball here, trying to put it into the box, but Leeds have won it back. Pascal Strag tries to pass it out to Sinistera, but it's gone out. It's either Sinistera or Somerville. They've both got green boots on, I think. I mean, is Sinistera still on? I haven't seen him in ages. Forest is a must-win game. Yeah, I think we need to get some points out of that game. Definitely. Cody Drama and Melly having a little bit of a miscommunication there. I wonder if if Marsh is back in the stands yet. Who's this substitution here? Jesse Marsh got a red. Jesse Marsh got sent off, anyone asking. He was complaining about the penalty that should have been. There should have been a penalty for Crescencio Somerville, who was pushed in the back and fell down in the box. Ayling just coming back on now. Obviously, he's been out for months, so good to see him back in action. So he was he on a yellow anyway. He basically was complaining and swearing at the fourth officials, saying that we should have had a penalty. The ref came over. The fourth officials told the ref what had happened, and the ref just sent Marsh off. Marsh went down the tunnel, and I don't think we've seen anything of him since. He might be back out, but I've not seen any pictures of him so far. Ayling comes on. First contribution is to go up for a header with Ben Mee, and they're both down holding their heads. So that's not great, is it? He's literally just come on. Let's have a look. And maybe they just skimmed it. I think Ayling's like brow bone just skimmed the back of Ben Mee's head. So I hope they're both okay, to be honest. You never like to see somebody get a head injury, so I hope they're both okay and they recover quickly. Yeah, nothing in it. Yeah, totally agree. There's nothing in that. They were just going to win the ball. They both had eyes on the ball, and I think Ayling just headed the back of Ben Mee's head. So obviously I'm a Leeds fan, but I would be more concerned about Ayling because it looks like the back of your head is harder than your eyebrow bone. Yeah, you say embarrassing for Marsh and he's 3-1 down and he gets sent off. Yeah, he should keep his cool more. But I don't know whether he should have had a red card for that. 1 point per game, Gary's saying, as per last season, was get survival regressing towards that baseline already, early days. Maybe we should all relax and breathe. Yeah, it's not like we're not expecting to be in Europe. Yeah, Paul saying, what's up with us? We played brilliant against Chelsea and all going wrong. That's a one-off against Chelsea. They played into our hands. They got frustrated early on, and it was. Don't forget as well, we've not played a home game other than the Everton game. We've not played a home game. So these ones that we've lost away at Brighton and here again today, we like the crowd at Ellen Road is a massive, massive part of it. And at the Chelsea game, we were able to get on top of them, get in their heads. They were basically just like they just completely lost their heads in that game. We were brilliant in that game and everything worked to plan, but not everything does work to plan. I think Thomas Frank has come with a game plan today that is working, and it was to sit back a little bit more, and it's worked so far. You can just say it's worked. We do look like we struggle against teams who sit back. Yeah, Brighton are a good side, so Brighton are a very decent side. Another one like Graham Potter and Thomas Frank are both very good managers. It's not the worst shame in the world to lose to them. I mean, Man United lost 4-0 to Brentford. We've scored and we've looked like scoring more. I think Luke Haley might have broken his nose here. His nose is bleeding a lot, and I don't know if it was always like that, but it looks bent. It looks like he's actually broken his nose, Luke Haley. Jesse Marsh needs to control his temper. Yeah, he does need to control his temper. He can be annoyed and stuff without just swearing at all the officials. Like, but even if you feel like it, just don't get sent off for it. Ball's into the box. Luke Ayling tries to pass it across, but it's gone out for a Leeds corner here. Luke Ayling with what looks like 2 tampons up his nose because his nose is just pouring with blood here. The Leeds have won a corner here. Hopefully, as Harrison's not on, it will beat the first man. I think it's Mark Rocker to take it here. It just hit the first man again. Mark Rocker takes the corner, and then it hits the first man again. I like Turtles 6438. I couldn't look at the match, but we're losing. But have we been good or bad? It's been a bit of a mixed bag. They've had some decisions that have gone their way, which I don't think was a penalty or a free kick that they've scored. Leeds got back into the game with a goal. We're playing well, looking like maybe equalising at some point. Then Leeds made a really bad defensive mistake, which allowed Ivan Toney to get his hat-trick, and now it's 3-1. Marsh has been sent off for complaining about a penalty that we should have had, so everything's gone a little bit wrong. When it was going so well at the start of the second half, we were doing well, looking like we might get back in the game. We didn't replace Rafinha, but then if you see Sinistera's goal against Everton, which if you check my matchday vlog from the other night, I got that perfectly, and the whole limbs of the crowd going mental. If you see his goal against Everton, and if you see his goal today, where he flicked it over a defender's head and then put it in from the edge of the box, I think you will say that Sinistera is well on his way to being that sort of player. He's in that mould. He's like Rafinha, but Rafinha does his best work very wide. Sinistera does his best work coming from out to in and driving directly at the goal. He's a bit more of a direct player, direct runner. And so I think Sinistera will be that good replacement for Rafinha. He scored 2 goals already, and he's been injured he was injured for the first couple of games. Do we give Perkins a chance next week? I thought you were on about today. Then I don't think Perkins is ready, to be honest. Next week, Nonto should be back from sorting out all of his stuff, so I would prefer to give Nonto a chance over Sonny Perkins in that game against Nottingham Forest. I prefer to give Nonto a chance in that game and see what he can do, because we forget that we've got him, because he's obviously was such a last minute thing. Bournemouth have equalised against Forest, so it's 2-2 in that game. I do think that there's a subtle form of bias against Americans. Oh, it's not subtle. A lot of people have out and out bias, and I mean, Marsh felt like he had to justify the fact that he was American, which is like, if you're good enough, you're good enough. It doesn't matter where you're from. Marsh felt like he had to justify himself, which he should never have had to do. But that's just what it's like a bit in football. People just hate on Americans for no reason. But when we look at our team, 2 of our best players so far this season, Tyler Adams and Brendan Aronson, and they're both American. Our manager is good, although he's just been sent off, and we could all be a little bit angry at him. Bamford's just missed an absolute sitter. People are saying goal in the chat. Bamford, that's an open goal. Oh my god, that's horrendous. I mean, people are saying we scored off the corner, but don't tell me goal, guys. In the chat, don't tell goal, because if I see the goal now, I'm not even going to react, because like you've already said, that we've scored. Oh my god, yeah, Ayling's nose is 100% broken. It's bent to one side. Ball comes out from the corner. Mateus Click is in the box here. Mateus Click's been good for us this season when he's come on. Llorente plays it down the line to... Yes! Get in there! Obviously, you told me that it was there already, but get in there! Leeds have scored. Should have scored before that. Leeds have made it 3-2, but people are saying in the chat that it's 4-2 now. I want to talk to everybody in the chat, but if I look at the chat, then I see what's happened in the game before it's happened. I think it was Mark Rocker that scored that goal. I want to talk to you guys in the chat, but I'll set my clock to the right time. Media source 2. I'm actually at. Yeah, and then Brentford have just gone and scored up that end. The offside flag's gone up, but VAR are checking. 79. Right, I'm in line perfectly with my time now. That's what I'm on. Yeah, and Burmo. It's not been said whether it's offside or not yet. But even if it gets ruled out, apparently Tony scored. Yeah, this has gone from bad to worse. We've obviously showed that we're capable of scoring goals today as well, but it's just really frustrating that we keep giving away goals as well. Like, we just scored and they've just scored. I'm still reviewing on mine. I kind of need to not look at the chat for a while. Because everybody just keeps saying what the score is. I think it touched... what they're saying is that the ball came over the top and Burma was offside if Tony was the one who got a glancing header, but then it hit Cock and went through. It's been given as a goal. Been given as a goal. 4-2 to Brentford. God. Just as we get back into the game, we give another goal away. It's a one long ball from the defender, from Ben Mee, and then Robin Koch heads it right into Mbomo's path. Yeah, that's awful. That's really bad. I mean, why are we doing this to ourselves? Because it's 3-1. We make it 3-2 and then instantly concede. Like what chance do we give ourselves if we do that? We've shown that we're capable of scoring goals and creating chances, which we are, and we create some good chances. We've scored a couple of good goals. Bamford should have scored his goal before. Like, really, Bamford should have scored his goal. And Burmo's now coming off after his goal. Let's see who's coming on for him. It's now buffering again. And it's Johan Wisser, I think. I feel like Mikkel Damsgaard might be coming on as well. Yeah, Johan Wisser on for Burmo. Yeah, Mellier's shaking his head, and so am I. Like, why have we done this to ourselves? It's 2-0, we make it 2-1. It's 3-1, we make it 3-2. And then we just let them score a fourth. Yeah, Matthias Jensen's come off, and Mikkel Damsgaard has come on for Brentford. Mikkel Damsgaard, obviously you'll remember from that free kick in the Euros. So let's hope that we don't give them another one. They've been really poor, the defence today. They've let in a couple of mistakes. Good pass through to Click there, but he wasn't able to quite get on the end of it. This is a nightmare. We're not going to score 2 more goals, I don't think. Could score 1 more. We could score 1 more and maybe it's not embarrassing to start with, but I just feel that we could have done a lot better today. With the chances that we've had, we could have done a lot better today. Leeds throw in just inside. Yeah, all 4 goals could be avoided easily. Yeah, we could have really avoided those today. I mean, Robin Koch has not been bad throughout this season, but he's made 2 mistakes today. Granted, one of them was him and Diego Llorente, but they were in Koch's position when the ball went through. He should have never got beaten by that ball, and at least Llorente and Koch went for the same ball. If one of them had just dropped, that goal doesn't go in. If one of them had just dropped back a bit, that goal does not go in. Ayling doing well there, winning a free kick inside the Brentford half. His nose is absolutely battered. His missus is going to be fuming about that. I do see where we can get the wins, because I think we can get wins against... I think we can get 6 points against Bournemouth. I think we can get a win against Nottingham Forest. I think we can get wins maybe against Fulham, although they're doing quite well. There are wins there. If we just... Oh, we'd be given a free kick right on the edge of the box rather than what could have been a penalty. But it's been a free kick to Leeds right on the edge of the box. Make sure you hit that like button down in the chat, guys. Anybody who's not hit that like button, hit that like button, as it massively helps me out. And hit that subscribe button as well if you want to see more in the future. Plenty of videos. I've done a couple of videos this week on the transfers and stuff, and there'll be more to come. So Leeds just got a free kick on the edge of the box here. Sam Greenwood is coming on, and Mark Rocker has just come off after his first goal for Leeds United. Rocky's absolutely fuming, throwing his water bottle down that's just been given. Yeah, Paul's saying that the manager can't be blamed for individual mistakes. Yeah, the manager can't be blamed for individual mistakes. This would have worked. The game plan would have worked if we hadn't have made those mistakes. I feel sorry for Marsh in that sense, because if we hadn't have made those little silly individual mistakes from Robin Koch, from Diego Llorente, I think we could have done a lot better in this game and potentially got a draw out of the game. Like, we've been the architects of our own downfalls massively today. I don't think the third goal was... which one was the third goal? Was that the one where it just went through? Yeah, I think it was. I don't think that was goalkeeper error. He had to come out then, because otherwise they would have been through on goal regardless. And so it's just a bit frustrating. I think that was Robin Koch and Diego Llorente's fault. They both went for the ball at the same time like that, rather than Robin Koch going for the ball and Diego Llorente just dropping off behind him. Because then if the ball does beat Robin Koch, it goes straight to Diego Llorente and he can just clear it. So it's really frustrating for me that they didn't do that. And they both went for the same ball, which is like rookie stuff, really. Greenwood's free kick goes straight into the face of the wall. I don't really know why we put it. Yeah, straight into Janssen's face. I don't know why we put Greenwood on free kicks. I've never seen anything from him to say that he's a fantastic free kick taker. He's just whacked that and it's gone straight into Janssen's face. I mean, Janssen, just move your head out of the way and you won't get hurt there. It'll just go in the top corner and you won't get hurt and be fine. Still getting treatment here. 87th minute then. Brentford 4, Leeds 2 in this game. It's really disappointing. It really is disappointing, because this game could have gone so much better. There's a lot of positives to take from this game. Like, we were able to get on top. We were able to play against a good Brentford side who've also had a good start to the season. We were able to get on top. We were able to create chances. We just haven't defended well enough. You can't, like, we've scored two goals should be enough to win any football match. If your defence is playing well, 2 goals should be enough to win a football match. But it hasn't been today because of the issues that we've had in defence. So, I mean, if we can get an extra goal now, it would be some consolation. But ball played inside by Ayling. Ball's gone to Aronson, who's still got the ball, passes it to Greenwood, who's given it to Ayling. Ball somehow managed to make its way back to a Leeds player. Leeds have got the ball just inside Brentford's half. 88 minutes here. I think I'm not going to look at the chat until the end of the game, just in case there is any goals, so that you get a proper reaction from me. So I won't be responding for anything in the chat just for the next 2 minutes and then extra time, just in case anything does happen. You never know. You never know with Leeds. Last season we had a few games like this, and if I start seeing people putting the scores in the chat, then you won't get a proper reaction when Leeds come back and draw this game with 2 extra goals. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of added time here because both teams have made 4 substitutions, I think. Clicks just picked up the ball there, passes it out to the left-hand side for Pascal Strout to take on. Strout looks back and passes it into Tyler Adams just inside the Leeds United half. Tyler Adams' passing is like his short passing, simple passing has been off it today. Ball into the box here. Bamford's able to bring it down, but doesn't quite manage to capture it in his spell, and it bounces through to David Raya. good chance there for Leeds if Bamford could have brought that one down a little bit in a little bit more of a controlled way. Brentford with possession here, trying to play it long. Diego Llorente is able to collect and passes it into Meslier, who sends it long. This is where we need Bamford to win these headers. I didn't go to him. I think Click has been really good since... Oh, I think that was Greenwood, actually. Oh. Greenwood passed it straight towards Aronson, but it hit Aronson in the back of the legs and he wasn't able to control it. 8 minutes stoppage time here at the Brentford Community Stadium. Let's hope that Leeds can get at least one goal in the next, couple of minutes. Possession at the back here with Pascal Struijk. What is Diego Llorente doing? Get him out the team. If Cooper doesn't start against Nottingham Forest, I swear to God, what is Diego Llorente doing there? What is that? That's pathetic. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. What the hell was that? Why is he trying to do a Cruyff turn when he's the last man? Ball gets taken off. For anyone who's not watching, ball gets taken off Diego Llorente when he tries to do a Cruyff turn as the last man. He's on his own. He tries to do a Cruyff turn and the striker just takes it off him so easily and scores. I think it's Wissa. That's horrendous. What the hell are you playing at? 5-2. What a joke. You can't do that in the Premier League. You cannot be the last man in a defence, do a Cruyff turn and expect not to concede. That's ridiculous behaviour. Get him out the team. Brentford might be in again here. What are Leeds doing? This defensive mistakes is all defensive mistakes. Really, really good save from Meslier there whilst Ivan Toney tried to squeeze it in the far corner. That's horrendous. What? I think Struijk's been very decent today. I don't think Struijk's made any mistakes, and I don't think Ayling, when he's been on, and earlier Cody Drammer, I don't think either of them have made any mistakes in this game. I genuinely don't. I think it's just the two centre backs. Robin Koch has made a mistake that was also Llorente's fault as well, but Llorente has been horrendous today. We've conceded 5 goals against Brentford. Pascal Struijk had a good shot there towards the near post and David Raya was able to save it wide. But come on, Llorente has been horrendous today. He needs to be dropped. His performance today is droppable. It's completely droppable. It's completely within Marsh's right is within his gift to say, get him out. Cooper has to start against Forest. Cooper has to start against Forest. Corner into the box, Ayling underneath it, able to flick it over the bar and nothing else. Oh, just blow the final whistle now, ref. Put us out of our misery. Yeah, 5 mistakes. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's really ridiculous. 5 mistakes. It's mental. How can you can't make 5 defensive mistakes in a Premier League game and expect to win. Tottenham 2-1 against Fulham. Wolves 1-0 against Southampton. Everton 0-0. Liverpool early kickoff. Chelsea 2-1 up against West Ham in the 90+7 minutes. Palace Newcastle 0-0. So Newcastle will remain unbeaten. No, they haven't been beaten. Yeah, and the big one is that Bournemouth have scored from 2-0 down. They're winning 3-2. Aronson doing what he does best, but somebody's dragging onto his shirt. Leeds really need to bounce back in the next game against Forest with a strong performance. Yeah, we really do. We need to have a really good, strong performance against Forest and put a few goals in to get our confidence back after this game. Penny Lane, Marshy's got nothing to do with this performance today. Him getting sent off, yeah, you can say, right, well that's like, he should have kept his head. But the fact that all of the goals came from mistakes, and manager can't do anything about that. He can set his team up to play a certain way. And you can say that Leeds actually were set up in a way that could have beaten Brentford today. We set up in a way that at points in the game, we looked like we were way on top. We've looked like we're on top for the whole game. It's just that they come back and they score counter-attack goals. Because Leeds have made some mistakes. Click is having a fight now. It's all going to crap here. Jorgensen is grabbing onto Click. Don't get yourself sent off, Click. That's it, just walk away. The worst thing you could do is now get sent off as well. Janssen, shut up, he's your old mate. Try and get him booked. Yeah, like Marsh has set the team up in a way today that could have won this game. Like, we played good football in parts. We've created enough chances to win the game. We've played well in parts of this game. The actual scoreline is due to the fact that our defence, and mainly Llorente, has been absolutely horrendous today. Those goals could have been avoided. Okay, the penalty. I think Meslier saves it if Sinistera doesn't do that. The free kick, I think, is debatable. It could have been a free kick. Really, really good goal. But the last 3 goals are the biggest issue for me. The last 3 goals are the biggest issue. Click got a yellow card, I don't know, just because when there's like a scrap between everyone, they just like to give everybody the card. Free kick put into the box, and Leeds are able to not get on the end of it. I don't know why I always say able to. Brentford are able to head that one away. 98th minute now. Yeah. I can imagine Melvin that it's full time 5-2. I don't think we were going to score again. But like I said, 2 goals should be enough to win a football match. If you concede in 5, then there's something seriously wrong. And I think the thing that's seriously wrong in this game is Llorente. I've rated him in the past. When in the promotion season, when we had that really good run towards the end of the season, he was fantastic, Diego Llorente. But since, I don't think I've really seen any single good performance from him. I really don't. And today, he's been absolutely horrendous, like really bad. And Cooper needs to get back in there. The most frustrating thing is that one of our best players throughout the whole of this start to the season has been Pascal Struijk. Pascal Struijk is primarily a centre-back. So if we'd have signed a centre-back, or Firpo was fit, Pascal Struijk could just go and sit in that left centre-back role with Robin Koch, and I think that would be our best centre-back partnership. I think they'd have done really, really well together. But because we haven't signed a left-back, Struijk has to play left-back, final whistle, Struijk has to play left-back, and Llorente has to play left centre-back on his weak foot. It's not good enough. It's really not good enough what we've done today. We scored a couple of good goals. We created the chances to score a lot more. And the goals that we've conceded were just individual errors. Really bad individual errors. And like, you can't stand for it. It's not good enough. It really is not good enough. Llorente needs to be dropped, and Cooper needs to come in for the next game. If Cooper's not fit for 90 minutes, put Struijk in there and put Yelder at left back. I honestly think that would be better. I really do think that would be better. Struijk at centre back, Yelder at left back. If we can't have Cooper in there, so that's the end of the game. I'm closing it now. I don't want to watch that anymore. We've just lost 5-2. So yeah, 5-2. It's awful. I think we've said all there needs to be said about that game. It's Llorente needs to be out the team for the Forest game, and you need to have Cooper in there or Struijk in there, because Llorente was not good enough today. He's been looking shaky throughout the start to this season, and it's all just like coming to to fruition at the same time. Like he's just completely fallen apart today. Awful performance from Diego Llorente. Horrendous stuff. I'm actually a bit depressed after that game, so I don't want to stay on too much longer. 5 goals. Awful. Really bad performance today in terms of the defensive part of it. The rest of the team wasn't even that bad, and that's why I think people like Mark Rocker on the bench were getting really frustrated. The other thing, Bamford, that chance that he missed that he should have scored, that was awful. That's unforgivable, a miss like that. What are you doing? How could you possibly not score from there? That's ridiculous. So, make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. Thanks everybody for watching. There's been a lot more people than usual in here, so that's really great to see. Thanks everybody for joining me. Cheers Gary. Cheers everybody who's been in the chat the whole time, because we've had a good crack at least about Leeds, even if we've been losing this game. So really bad game today in terms of the defensive performance. We're okay up front. We need to be more clinical, but like I said before, 2 games should always be enough to win a football match, and when you're making defensive errors like that, what chance do you give yourself of winning? Thanks for watching this one. Subscribe if you're new, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time on Leeds Lately. Thanks for watching.